A griffin is a mythical creature seen as half eagle, half lion. It is also the name of a roller coaster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This video is going to be my full review of Griffon. Let's dive into it. Griffon was manufactured by Bolliger & Mabillard, B&M, as a dive machine coaster in 2007. It would cost the park $15.6 million to build and would be the second dive coaster in North America, the big brother to SheiKra at Busch Gardens Tampa. We'll revisit that topic a little later on in the video. Griffon sits in the French area of the park and serves as its main attraction. The ride has an insane amount of interaction with the pathing. To get to the entrance, you must cross a small bridge passing over the first drop and under the first inversion, or you can come from the other side and pass next to the splashdown. Of course, there is a pretty sign outside the entrance as well. I must say though, the theming for this coaster could have been better. All you get with Griffon is the old-time brick building style and chain fencing. And don't get me wrong, it looks stunning. I was just surprised there was not more. When you get back to the station, you board the old-style B&M dive machine trains. They seat 10 across in 3 rows for a total of 30 riders per train. And Griffon can run 3 trains on the track. As I said, these trains are the older style, so they feature the harder over-the-shoulder restraints, not the vest restraints. This is going to play a major factor in the ride experience, so keep that in mind. And speaking of ride experience, it's time to dive into the layout. The train exits the station and turns to the right and enters the 205-foot lift hill. At the top, the train traverses the slow right turn leading into the hang. Like all dive coasters, in the front row, you feel the hang time at the 90-degree angle drop. Falling down the first drop, the coaster hits its top speed of 71 miles per hour. This drop goes under a small bridge and enters the first inversion. Who could have guessed? It's an Immelman inversion. The train then swoops around to the mid-course brake run. Again, like most B&M dive coasters, the brakes slow the train to a crawl, creating a second hanging drop. After this dive, the train traverses another Immelman inversion. For this section, the coaster peaks into the river area. This creates a little variation in the experience without breaking the immersion completely. Coming back to the Griffon Plaza, you hit an Airtime Hill. I have to say there was a surprising amount of airtime too. Not necessarily ejector, but some amazing floater. I would go to say the best on any dive coaster I've ridden so far. Remember those over-the-shoulder restraints? Those probably have a huge effect on the feeling this Airtime Hill gives. This is my favorite part of the ride by far. The train then goes into the splashdown. And afterwards, there is a nice smooth left turn. And right before entering the brake run, there is a violent drop down. While the first Airtime Hill is great floater, this was unexpected ejector. This was done to ensure the train has enough clearance into the splashdown. I don't think it was intended to be such an intense hill, but that's what we got. I would recommend sitting in the front row for the train to best feel these forces, even if there's an extra weight. It's definitely worth it. Overall, I was impressed with Griffon. The surprising pops of airtime were amazing for a dive coaster. I think that's the standout for this coaster. Other than the airtime, it's a large dive coaster experience traversing over 3,000 feet of track in around 3 minutes. And there is a perfect comparison opportunity here. Griffon has a sister coaster at Busch Gardens Tampa called SheiKra. Griffon is at an advantage as it was built after SheiKra. As a result of basic development, Griffon features an extra inversion, more height, and more speed. It also seemed to be smoother. So why would I bring up a seemingly easy comparison? Well, there is one section I think Griffon lacks in, the splashdown area. SheiKra has an amazing splashdown with beautiful scenery and path interaction. On the flip side, I feel Griffon's splashdown was tacked on. The pool of water kinda looks cookie cutter with the bright blue underneath. So yeah, that's my flaw for this ride. Theming, especially around the splashdown area. And don't get me wrong, the theming looks amazing. I just think they could have done a little bit more. When I look at Griffon compared to the newer generation dive coasters I've ridden, like Valravn at Cedar Point, I think I prefer Griffon. While that's most likely controversial, I have some logic behind it. It might have to do with the classic restraints, but the experience was a lot more enjoyable. For example, Valravn has an airtime moment, but it's nowhere near the caliber of Griffon's. And like I said, those airtime hills set Griffon apart from the others. Right now, I would say Griffon is my favorite dive coaster experience. And that's going to lead into the wrap up for this video. Based on everything that's been said, I give Griffon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg a 10 out of 10. From what I've seen a dive machine is capable of, this coaster does everything the best. And yeah, while the splashdown could be better themed, it does not necessarily take away from the ride. Now I just need to ride the brand new ones to truly find the best style of a dive coaster. But like I said, for right now, Griffon does everything the best for me. And that's pretty much going to wrap up my review of Griffon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.